Hi, this is John Park. Today we have another self-directed IRA 401k question, but you know what, folks? Sometimes I wonder if you get a little tired of hearing about these things like 401ks, IRAs, self-directed, IRS, Department of Labor. So let's start off today by, I like wine, and I like all kind of wines. I like champagnes, I like everything. Well, let's start off with a couple recommendations today. For those of you who like Pinots, I have a great recommendation. Try Pisoni, 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 out of California, and look them up on the internet. Buy some, have a case sent to you. Very, 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 very good Pinots. And on one of these next ones, I gotta get the name of it. I'm gonna have a good medium price champagne. And when I say medium price, I'm saying more like in the $40 to $50 range. It's a good champagne. But let's get to the topic at hand today. Today we're going to talk about prohibited transactions. Exciting topic. I know you guys are all jumping up and down. But for those of you that are jumping up and down, and you should be jumping up and down about the possibility of self-directing your own IRA or 401k retirement assets, there's a little thing in the IRS code that talks about prohibited transactions. What is it? What are they? And how can they hurt you? Well, anytime you hear the word prohibited, that sounds pretty intense as far as being more on the negative side of the fence than on the positive side of the fence. So let's see let me just take a second here, and I'm going to read this word for word out of the Internal Revenue Code. The definition of a prohibited transaction. Generally, a prohibited transaction is any improper use of your IRA or 401k account or annuity by you, your beneficiary, or any disqualified person. Disqualified persons include your fiduciary and members of your family, which are inclusive of your spouse, ancestors, linear descendants, and any spouse of any linear descendant, quote unquote, out of the code. You can certainly refer to IRS Publication 590 and Internal Revenue Code 4975 on this subject matter. Now, that being said, let's talk about generally what are prohibited transactions and maybe a little bit more layman's language. Is number one, we talked about disqualified persons there. I just read you the definition out of the code. Is doing business with or through or the benefit to and from any disqualified person. Number two, benefiting someone other than the IRA or the 401k account. Now let's use a real life story here. Let's say I got a great person. Raylene in California. She is a real estate agent and she buys properties and she has a self-directed account. One of her first questions is can I use my retirement assets to purchase a duplex, an apartment complex, a triplex, a quadplex, whatever all those names are. Can I buy a residential property and turn it around and treat it as a rental property? Absolutely. Now, she's kind of a handy person, so the next question is, well, if I need to make improvements, how does that happen? Can I, and here was the clincher, can I actually go take up the tile? Can I actually pay myself to doing some work on that property? Absolutely not. This is what the IRS says is benefiting someone other than the account holder. Is even though it's benefiting your retirement account, you can't be the person who's getting paid or getting some form of benefit for actually doing that work, whether it's repair work or being the property manager for that property. That has to be done by a third party. Number three, loaning money to a disqualified person. Absolutely prohibited. Investing in a prohibited investment, and these are things, basically the IRS says there's only two categories of investments that you absolutely can't make. That's life insurance contracts and collectibles as defined by the code. But if you said, hey, I'm going to invest in those anyway, that's a prohibited transaction. So with a layman's explanation of this, remember, you do not want to be involved in anything that the IRS would consider self-dealing. And self-dealing just means benefiting someone or some entity other than the actual retirement account. But you know what, guys? In the end, it's all good, because if you're self-directing your retirement account, the eventual beneficiary of that retirement account when distributions are made in retirement is you. So it's still benefiting you. It's just going to be benefiting you down the road through your retirement plan. Let's also give just a few other quick examples, because I always like to use real life examples and from real life questions for folks. So one might be purchasing a property from or for a disqualified person. You know, like say you want to buy the house from your daughter or buy a house for your daughter with your retirement assets. Remember, linear descendants, disqualified person, can't do it. How about purchasing a property that you already own from yourself with your IRA assets? Can't do it. These would be for new properties, new acquisitions, not for properties you already own. Huge one, commingling of funds. Let's say somebody purchases let's say a rental home from their retirement assets, and they have to take out that tile, they have to do yard work, they have to do something on the pool, and they use personal funds for that. Prohibited transaction. Purchasing property and using it for personal use. Great one and huge one. I used an example before in one of my videos about a client who said they wanted to purchase a property down in Costa Rica and possibly stay in it for a couple weeks out of the year or a month out of the year. Prohibited transaction. Again, remember, these are all kind of common sense things, but they're examples because that person would be personally benefiting from his or her IRA assets purchasing that property. All purchases for investing must be done through the IRA or the 401k. Just remember that, including all maintenance, all repairs, everything has to be done with retirement account assets. So, with that, this was kind of a little bit of a long video today, but I kind of wanted to really kind of spend some time talking about prohibited, the exciting topic of prohibited transactions. With that, I applaud you if you're looking at the world of self-direction, whether it be an IRA or a 401k. There are great ways for you to take personal control, checkbook control of your retirement assets. Hope this video was educational if you thought it was. And if you'd like to see more videos related to self-directed IRAs and 401ks, go to the link on this page. And most importantly, thank you for your time. Hope this was educational. And best of luck in building your wealth building strategies this year. And try Pisoni. It's actually a very good peanut.